guarantee their spot above them. It is sudden death, but only so long as Red Canids can tread water.
There's a lot of pressure mounting towards them, and exactly like you said, if they drop a single map, well, unfortunately, that is going to be the end of their Ascension run. And now, moving into this one, I gotta comment on Winthrop University's composition a little bit. Very unconventional that we're not seeing a Viper brought in on the other side. As a matter of fact, this composition is identical to what we've seen them run on Sunset. So part of me says comfortability, part of me says maybe they've got something interesting ready for us, but Ali back on the stage under a lot of pressure already.
Yeah, well, what sticks out to me is definitely the potential for choreography. Previously on Corrode, their comp was kind of just for facilitating team fights, scattershot in mid. Here, it looks like they actually have a good game plan, but Red Canids, they have a really solid attack pack fight going on right now. Prozine drawing first blood, and RGL getting that spike down on the vulnerable door. Early relay bowled out from Infiltrator. They're just going to get things started now, and he can't land a damn thing. It's got to be the rest of the team on the site, and Ali does a great amount of chip damage in the process, but now it's Maestro's turn to reset the fight with his own slide, and he does so much more. 4v2 now is Moogs is just getting back with this backstab. They turn to it in time, and it's got to be Glyph now in a 1v3 after Maestro is burned away, but everyone on a relatively low health pool as the smoke fades away, though everyone is ready, and it'll be Red Canids getting round one.
Yeah, and let's see how this one continues to play out here. I mean, at that point, it was just kind of the group up and a little bit more confidence play coming through. Obviously, Red Canids coming in after taking a break for a series, which, you know, you lose the very first opener. The nerves are really high. You've got a chance to really settle things down a little bit. Keep a nice and cool head, and then that way it's nice and easy. But Winthrop University coming in through a grueling match up against Sixth Karma. But once again, they got to show us what they've got in store for us, because I'm still not convinced about this composition. Even though that they are the masters of this map, FRZ will be able to find that pick onto Moobs very early on, shutting down the chamber from getting anything, but a lot of information at least gained.
Whew, Prozine, nice flick on that ghost, but yeah, it's only so much you can do. Just trying to stop Ali. But Winthrop will take over every other part of the map, apart from the B site. And Red Canids have this 3v3 after those isolated fights are done. Infiltrator with this hero bulldog now. He's gotten for himself. Can start spinning this as the mid push comes through, but FRZ is watching that with the outlaw. No smoke in his way. Now TPing back to play sequential. And that's well managed by Red Canids. See how much Infiltrator can get done. That's the turn on to two. A shame that the clip ain't bigger. Red Canids get two on the board, but only with one gun standing.
Oh man, not the bulldog in the hands of Infiltrator. Somehow, I mean, we've seen some crazy flicks and spray transfers so far in these matchups, but thought we were about to be treated to yet another. Fantastic job though from Winthrop University to be so disruptive. The aggro out of mid, putting so much pressure, finding a couple of really early kills, especially on an eco round. Like, it's one of those momentums that we see Winthrop University playing with that have been giving them the confidence to make those plays. It's just when things start to fall out of order, that's when we start to fall apart. But it's gonna be the Viper wall up, denying a lot of presence, and Moobs already down. Maestro getting the better half of that chamber.
And he's already making such a deep cut in here. FRZ attempting to follow up, but Infiltrator playing a nice early stopgap, and WU's gonna be able to do a good amount of damage control from here, only losing one gun in the process. That is rough, Glyph. RGL closer than the short sight will necessitate an Infiltrator trying to make up for lost time, but he'll get refragged too. Red Canids, great management of the crowd so far, and definitely has something to do with the comp, but I think it has so much more to do with Red Canids' pure patience at the moment. You see RGL just holding this down, seeing if he can take one more body along with him, as WU have left the spike on an island, and Governor eventually gonna hunt this down. But this proactivity that they keep searching for that results in a lot of trades could lead to their downfall going forward here, I will say.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, it's the same issue that we saw them running into when they were facing Sixth Karma. Obviously, we've beaten the point over the head about Sixth Karma, as well as Winthrop University having somewhat similar styles when it comes to how they want to set up their compositions. But, well, Sixth Karma kind of won 2-0 up against Red Canids. And so Winthrop University posing very similar challenges. But still, you know, we're seeing Red Canids. This is going to be their first real rifle round coming into this. Moobs not able to buy a gun, so we'll be just relying on that headhunter while the slow orb gets tossed out here from Ali. And already, given the fact that they hear the neon, there's a good indication as to where this team is. Meanwhile, it's just disrespect on that Viper wall being showcased in the middle. as it's so deep already that Infiltrator has kind of made their way up.
Nolly considering the wall after just the pot shots are taken, but he really doesn't want to let Maestro in. There's the smoke tossed out. Still no step in. Again, great discipline by Ollie to wait this out. Infiltrator has gotten the insert in the meantime. A lot on him when Moobs has to stay stalwart, especially with the lack of an operator here, which she's going to try and farm post-haste.
A lot of bullets being traded back and forth, but honestly, Red Canids haven't really moved forwards. Winthrop University unfortunately gets on the wrong side. Moobs not able to secure the kill, but gets a bullet out into Prozin. And actually, Red Canids, they're going to be moving all the way over to that A site, despite the fact that the information was just gained.
Odd call by Glyph, and it'll lead to his death. Red Canids playing snakes and ladders. Now comes that scaling onto the A site itself. Winthrop are here to meet the threat at this point. They've made the long walk. Oh, but Moobs has been caught yet again by this early seize. He's covered by himself. Relay bolt into Paranoia. You've got to trade out the crowd, and Red Canids are faster than that. Infiltrator on this overdrive, and it's already drained away. Maestro conducts 3 with an electric round for himself. Red Canids make it 3-1.
You pop the overdrive? Let's see what I can do with that one. And just zooming over, beaming down the opposition. Great string of rounds coming through from Red Canids. They seem as cool as ever when it comes to this. And honestly, I like the pacing that they've kind of been taking with a lot of this. It feels like it is a bit more patient, but when they're ready to move on to it, the utility, the setups feel so damn clean. Like, look at how much value that Paranoia was given onto the side of Red Canids. And then they just kind of go in, sweep, and clear house. An excellent job coming in from them. And this is going to force Winthrop now back onto pistols. So unfortunately, the economy, not exactly in the best scenario for Winthrop University.
Very delicately played this time. Glyph already getting a little spooked. Infiltrator taking the peek out, and both angles very well managed by Red Canids on this attempt. Nothing to truly write home about yet for Winthrop's composition.
Spike planted.
So far, Ollie's wall has not really gotten to play too much of a preventative role, and Moobs has been met very quickly as well. I think Red Canids saw this composition again. They understood exactly what Winthrop is going for.
Yeah, at this point, it's going to be Winthrop trying to do as much damage as possible. At least able to get that out in, so Governor will be walking away with this one. But yeah, I tend to agree. Like, you know, they lose a couple of members and suddenly all their smoke pressure is kind of gone there. I really question not bringing in a Viper because it allows for just a bit more escapability, especially when they want to take some of those early aggressions, as we kind of expect from Winthrop University. One of the best things about the Viper wall was, you know, you can kind of disappear into the shadows just backing up, and there's no issues really about it. And Viper can kind of just stand their ground, you know, play that pseudo sentinel role. But Winthrop University really put all their eggs in the fragging basket. They want to play that frag forward composition, want to use that utility to kind of enable Moobs to go off, but Moobs has only gotten 1 kill so far. Meanwhile, Red Canids, well, they've got 3 ultimates online and 4 rounds to 1. So great job right now for Red Canids to continue to keep themselves alive in this Ascension tournament.
Here's one of the fun things you can do with the Sage Wall. Ollie hasn't gotten to really use the canvas yet. He's been forced to play purely for cover since Glyph has kind of only been able to manage 1 prong at a time of the fight. But unfortunately, the reality is, with a fun play like this, if no one's there to look at your canvas, did the art ever really exist at all?
No way you just twisted that falling tree analogy into that.
Who's next?
Oh. TP in from FRZ. Brother, that is up and inside, but he's got the drift going. And we've opened things up right as the Paranoia gets launched. Woo, pinprick timing. We gonna make it work. And Moobs' TP has been destroyed as well, so he'll have to hold long from the window, or from the elbow rather. And the Nightfall is going to split the board again, so Moobs just managing the front line. He does, though, with that operator. Prozine gone, and Governor and Glyph holding down the rest of the crowd. They can resuscitate this site. And it'll force the ult from RGL to grab that spike and reset on B for the 1v2.
This is definitely still winnable right now for Red Canids. At the same time, Moves walking into here, still has that operator online. Glyph on the other side, Glyph coming off of a really hot game. And they're going to be approaching from two separate angles here. If this was any other team, you would have expected it to be a bit more grouped up, but they're going to hope to kind of catch a timing, swing out together at the exact same time on these two angles to catch someone off guard. Okay. Well, maybe not. Maybe you just walk in onto the site and Glyph sees RGL Meister right away and just finds that kill. That's cool.
It's tough. It's such a tough moment to manage because you have so much that you know Winthrop is going to be launching at you at that moment. You know that you're going to have to get mobile at some point during that fight. It can be elongated, so it's really tough for RGL to find a starting position that's like the third best spot you can be in so you can continuously make the fight tougher. Taking a little extra time to make sure that they can grab that operator back as well. Just crossing T's, dotting I's to start gaining this lead back. And I think it's about time we start talking about the specific gap that Red Canids have to manage across this match. As, again, they not only can't drop a map, but they have to win in total by at least 10 rounds across this match against Winthrop University. That is no small task. Average of 5 rounds per map that they win by. And so far, so decent for sure. But of course, the attack half a lot more volatile, a lot more deadly a lot of the time. So work cut out for them in this long haul of a match. Walking on eggshells is the lowest way to put it. And Red Canids, they're going to try and get right in Winthrop's faces to keep this psychological torment going, to keep this lead active.
Let's see what they've got for us now. See Winthrop University putting a little bit more of that pressure onto mid this time, but they haven't gotten as far as they would like. Maestro so far forwards. Moves is going to be the next one, but once again, this Viper wall gives so many good opportunities. It's okay, though. Moves is going to play right off it.
Yeah, why have your Viper when you can just play off the other one's screen? Moves feels more than comfortable holding that on his own. Losing himself if necessary. FRZ on the roam will catch Infiltrator, actually. Into the reactive Nightfall tossed out by Governor that doesn't necessarily have to get acted upon by Red Canids. They've helped such a consistent presence on these main lines without actually dipping in that there is no present danger to the stack as a whole. So you can recoup, reallocate, get 2 on the crunch on each side, and go haywire on this weakened B site.
30 seconds
Prowler
left.
can only take you so far, though, and Moobs definitely the biggest threat of the time being. That's what you do to distract him, though. And no coverage. Let's FRZ grab the K.
Plant will go down now. Glyph, Ali, and Governor. 3 players that have been extremely stable for Winthrop University. Now find themselves just on the other side of a Viper's pit. Up against 4. This one is still a very tough one, but if they want to continue to pull this back, then they've got to make a chance at it right now. Meister just on the other side. FRZ spotting one out.
Governor takes the swing back first. And Ollie with the res just to bait the extra swing. Ollie just doesn't even wait for it. But time is running out, and WU may not even get here in time. Oh, no, they do. Gobshies can't even hold down for a second. And Winthrop will get to 3-4. That was quite the expeditious retake after all was said and done. I don't know how they managed it in such a small gap, but gosh darn it, they did.
That is a really cool mouse trick, by the way, from Ali there. I've never seen anyone do that on stage.
Yeah, he's got like the karambit mouse going.
Yeah, literally. But wow, that was crazy. I mean, just when you think that Winthrop University are like, oh, no, we're not going to do it. They do the bait and play. Ali just walks out, finds it, and then they just slowly and very quickly dismantle the defense on the actual site there. It's kind of unbelievable. I mean, they can't even believe it themselves that they were able to pull that round off. Winthrop University, that's a great round. They steal away the Viper's ultimate. They steal away the weapons. Red Canids, sorry, only on stingers mostly. Prozen just gonna be on that sheriff. Let's see if that's gonna be enough. They're making their way in onto this B site.
Here.
TP in from FRZ makes a lot of this first bit trivial. He's gonna hyperextend on this eco round. This is something I like to see. Glyph, hard pressure. This is the kind of thing that North American players may have trouble dealing with, but Glyph doesn't even flinch. He goes for the full rain, and he'll grab 4 alone, which we are now tied at on the macro.
Oh yeah, North American players will collapse under that pressure. 10
Dude,
Rekka.
shut up.
Glyph has been shooting. The first map that we saw Glyph kind of come out on wasn't exactly the best, but since then has been just so confident in the play style. And you see it just, once again, just stepping out, knows he can take the gunfight, knows they're going to find a couple of kills, and it's that kind of pesky omen play that is so difficult to predict, especially too, like, it's the chess piece completely out of place, and yet it still gets so much value. Winthrop University, they tie up the scoreline, which, once again, I think it was Red Canids need to win by 10 rounds in total. So that slowly and slowly is getting chipped away at.
Yeah, the maximum you can this game is now 9. Clock is ticking, and the gap still has to be bigger. You got to get it back first, Hell. FRZ, good management.
Portal closed.
As Ash mentioned, this is still a pretty new role that FRZ is taking on, but a necessary one in this meta that is about to unfortunately wean away.
Well, we're still not on that patch yet, so let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. Sorry. But I think FRZ is taking on, he's taking on that role well as the Yoro. I mean, I think he has a great balance of the rhythm between being that like staunch presence that he normally is on the Sentinel and actually getting active and mobile when he needs to or when Maestro can't. That's Governor doing that? Okay. C's on top of the drift to keep anyone from immediately entering, but FRZ can still run down onto 1. It just caused some havoc so the rest of the team can get on, but everyone just managing their individuals. Oh, Glyph even watching FRZ on the drop down, and the crunch is not exactly in time, so Gobshis takes a good amount of health. Oh, damage. Maestro actually takes the other corner, and Gobshis manages against Ali. Red Cannon seesaw that sight back in an instant. They barely find the gap this time.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking good once again. You can see the confidence from Winthrop University, but just a couple of hero plays coming in from Red Canids, looking for those opportunities to kind of turn things up. And FRZ, every single time we've seen him slip into the dimensional drift has looked pretty darn good. Like, the information gained has been very helpful for the teams and is able to find pretty tricky positions on top to be able to just gun down Winthrop University when they're not really expecting it. And so that is going to be Red Canids once again taken around in their favor here. Still very close between these two teams. Infiltrator just on the other side of potential disaster, but has no idea.
Who steps it first? FRZ, proper support with the walkout. Give it to him. And now you can not necessarily run this down, but yeah, Glyph is terrified and also forced to this one front. So of course you start causing some pressure for that operator. Moves, dipping.
Look at the positioning, though, specifically of where Governor is standing. That could be deadly if the spray down happens, but actually it's going to be Ali with the spray. He's able to find FRZ, and that slows down the momentum just a little bit for Red Canids. As let's see how they want to re-engage here. They still have Maestro online. Neon could be the tip of the spear, especially alongside the Nightfall, which will come now.
And Glyph just purely making sure no one can get the drop on him. Maestro still does have that slide available to initiate. Good discipline to make sure he knows where Governor is still at. Still got to deal with moves when he comes back too, but not nearly as much of a threat now that spike's down. Still one more Prowler in the tank for Governor as the wall goes up on the elbow. You're able to manage one fight at a time. And again, it's Ali that comes out with the first frag out of nowhere, man. Huge C's as well. Onto RGL. Just sequencing this site. How about another one for Ali?
Enemy remaining.
And now Mooms makes his presence known. Again, the moment you think that a player can't contribute, you turn away and completely miss out of what they're capable of.
And we see Red Canids really just leaning into the style of like ape strong together. If we play together, we can win together type of deal. But it's kind of opening up a little bit of gaps for players like Moobs to really just kind of move forwards. And suddenly a lot more of this utility, it's a bit more predictable because you know where you're going to be forcing all of these multiple players in. And if you're conscious that you're going to be running into a couple people, not just one, which Winthrop University really looks like they're aware of, it gets that much easier for them to make sure that they guarantee the round. Tied up again, 5-5. Glyph at 12 kills currently, but it is going to be a save round for Red Canids. They've only got the From the Shadows online in RGL Meister, but I don't think that's necessarily going to be enough really to kind of secure this round. Meanwhile, Winthrop University, like, they really do look just very comfortable at the moment.
They're definitely in their element. Feels like on the attack, they might have to slow things down for a little bit and take a second to get the juices flowing, but they have now, with a half like this, given themselves a little bit of room to do that. Maestro on the cusp of an overdrive here, so there are ways for Red Canids to try and spin this, but very few windows to do so. This is one of them. Flash out from FRZ, and it's good for a trade back. Nice spin around from RGL to get a second. And there is the overdrive from Maestro. They are going to go for it. Just gain that space. Still with the fast lane in the pocket, too. This is really decent space made by Red Canids.
And Brazen has the Odin as well. Love this position from Maestro. So close by, Stinger in hand. Might be able to at least guarantee one as Moob slowly makes his way over.
And there's the cover. So Infiltrator doesn't feel as confident with this operator either. You have to walk in so slow. Or sorry, Moobs has the operator. He's walking in from the back. But he's also a little slow to this. Overdrive from Infiltrator. Maestro stings it down. And Ali entering as well. The res, the kill from Ali. And Winthrop makes it look more than easy enough. They will take the lead here on the defensive round.
Out of charges.
Man, has Ali just been like playing exclusively Sage in the time since Challengers has kind of ended in NA? Because we've seen so many of those kind of bait plays come through with the res, and it seems like it works out every single time. That was a right click, by the way, with the pistol. I mean, it's kind of unbelievable how much value the Sage reses have had, and that's not for just bringing somebody in like back into the fight. It's actually because it allows Ali to get a very pivotal kill, allowing the other side of the retake to come through with not that much issue. Like, it almost feels like the Sage Res is actually a tool that Ali is using to find kills, which is not something that you usually expect from Sage's ultimate.
Yeah, it's been amazing seeing Ali playing off of himself better than anyone else can. Which is, I think, in this patch, something you really want to do as the Sage. You want to be able to play off of your own walls and your own slows and I guess your own reses. Shoot, Ali's getting creative. We did see him do that occasionally in NA, though, but purely for style, not for actually space making.
Like for realsies, yeah.
These like tight ass chokes on Corrode actually make that kind of viable, right? Like, how strange is this? And it's, I mean, it is the pressure that WU needs to guarantee themselves, and I mean, for that matter, themselves a spot in the group stage, in the Swiss stage, not just this map. Because again, Red Canids cannot drop a single map this match. If they do, WU is in, 6 Karma's in. Still, though, so much work to do here for Winthrop University. And the buyback for Red Canids. This is the round that they will be likely their most dangerous, is RGL already going for the CTTP.
Yeah, that's so deep in there, but, you know, at least Winthrop University kind of aware they're ready to kind of flush this player out. Never mind, Moobs.
Wow.
Walks right into the trap card, and RGL Meister is able to find that first kill. Infiltrator coming up next. We'll be able to at least find one.
Still doing this distraction dance against Governor, though, so B-side is free. Winthrop University are going to flip it, though. Take it to attack. Governor on the operator again. Oh, RGL takes the inside. Nice cutter. But that flip from Infiltrator, dangerous. Ali taking his own pot shots. Prozine gone first. TP out of the shack to change the position. Ali again! How does he keep doing it? Extension out of the lane. Maestro and RGL hold their own across the hut, and it's Ali all alone. RGL with 4 as we tie up the half.
Yeah, RGL Meister just excellent play, excellent solo play. Maybe taking advantage of the fact that Winthrop University looks so chill up on stage. The Omen TP into the backline works out perfectly. Is able to find 2 very instrumental kills and still buy so much space, and it's playing so tricky on the actual site. It makes it so that this is just a lot more dual. Walking away with 4 kills to make sure that they can make that one happen. So we'll be going to our halftime now as once again, Red Canids really fighting for their survival.
And they continue to have the support of their country behind them. We got more of Brazil's best players. It's Fury Academy's loss in an interview on the floor.
ninguém mais, ninguém menos que o Loss, o duelista da equipe da Fúria. Quase chamei de The Carry, não sei, eu tô aqui e já buguei. Mas aqui com o duelista da equipe da Fúria Academy. Amigo, você jogou contra os caras o ano inteiro. Essa é a Red que você conhece? Ou tá faltando alguma coisinha que o menino tá precisando entrar? O que tá acontecendo?
Cara, tá faltando um pouquinho a mais, mas uma coisa que a gente precisa é da torcida inteira.
E aí, torcida?
Red, vamos, certo? E vamos pra cima, Red, que dá pra ganhar. E é isso, cara.
É isso, é isso. Então agora, na defesa, acho que dá pra amassar nessa defesinha aqui?
Dá pra amassar. A gente mesmo estando de double duelista, a gente tem o fogão e a neon pra rotar rápido. Bora que bora.
Bora, bora.
Ganhar.
Bora.
Né?
Então vamos de volta aí, bora, pelo amor de Deus, Red. Vamos ganhar.
And now we get ready. Getting back into the match, Winthrop University up against Red Canids. Once again, a lot of pressure on one side of the stage. Winthrop University really just need to manage one of their maps. And then as a result of that, they will guarantee their spot into the Ascension tournament. While Red Canids right now, they are fighting for survival. So now we are going to be swapping sides. 6-6, all tied up between these two teams. Let's see how this one is going to be shaken out here and what Red Canids have in store for us on their defense.
Comes time to regulate in order to stay alive. With the crowd watching, cheering behind them, can they hold a candle against this first attack phase from Winthrop here on Corrode? Start now quick. Prozine ready to play off of his body, off of his kit. Already a lot getting tossed his way as Winthrop make their way into the main frame of the B site. Sage wall to tear away at the mid corners. They're already getting pot shots tossed into. 3 stack against this slow orb that'll quickly dissipate. Ali does not have another, but he's got his gun. 1 down, 2 down for Ali. He is on one right now, brother. I'm telling you. And Winthrop extending to mid. Gobshies burns down 2 more to suddenly make it even Stevens. And in fact, Winthrop has the worst health pool at the moment.
1 enemy remaining.
Governor Prowler
Last player
out, extends
standing.
on the Gobshies. Prozine has to make it up as he's gotten a kill of his own. Only 19 HP, but misses the angle. And it's a crucial pistol round for Winthrop University.
I'm sorry. I can't believe that Ali is just walking away with 2 right-click kills. Just the Sage popping around the corner. Why, hello there. Right-click and then you're dead. Like, that should not happen there. And honestly, great stuff coming through to make sure that this continues to pull things back around. It should be a good opportunity thanks to Gobsy really trying to pull things back, but it comes down to just that 1v1. And unfortunately, gambling onto the wrong side there. So Winthrop University, they get the pistol round. And they make a statement, now taking the lead in this series. 7-6. We'll have weapons moving into this next one. Moves on the Outlaw. Ali, still just watching these long crossfires, has been absolutely electric today on this stage in both of these matchups, honestly.
Oh, moves catching. After that screen fades away.
Shadows traveling.
Canids just trying to find a clue, a hint. In a very quiet beginning, RGL the next to give himself to that question. And Moobs is still holding with this Outlaw down the mid-walk. Wow, no room for error here.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Planted.
Oh, there's the North American special, am I right?
Had to happen sometime. I was wondering how loud people were going to be, at least today. So much event left, but you know everyone's excited to play on the LAN.
Flawless.
Crisp from Moobs. 8-6 now. I mean, that was near perfection, I gotta say. Like, I was so impressed by that patience.
And if you just kind of like have your fingers on the pulse here between these two teams, like Red Canids, they really have to pull their mental back into this. They got to lock in. They got to just believe again. Because if I'm being honest with you, we're seeing a couple of their players really still play with that level of confidence. But the rest of them just feel like they're just like following in suit. It doesn't feel like there's any drive right now, while Winthrop University, I mean, the vibes are at an all-time high. They feel like they've already won the match and we're still in the middle of it. And so Glyph starting us off with a pick onto FRZ already. It's not how you wanted this one to go, but it will once again just sweep that momentum over underneath Winthrop University's sails.
And force Red Canids to play even lighter everywhere else. B-site tends to be what falls prey to that, since it's Prozine on this Viper that is once again willing to throw everything in order to just keep the attackers from getting on. But again, Winthrop will play slow, play patient, play respectful, make sure they have everything they need to bolster through this.
Oh, and they're going to just completely bulldoze their way onto the sites. Unless Prozin's able to find a couple of kills here, it's not going to be looking good, and should be able to back off, so the spike should be able to go down. Nice, clean, and easy. Prozin trying to make a statement, though.
Bit of a rhythm with this screen he could establish, but it's tough to guarantee something, and they'll push Prozine after the fact. And that will be the bonus. Red Canids call it there.
Wow.
Whoo! That is a doozy of a round, for sure. A massive call made by Gabshis mere seconds after that spike is planted. And a very consequential one at that. That could spell the rest of this map's fate.
Yeah. Like, you look at the 2 kills that happened on that map. We see FRZ go down just in the very beginning with a spray through a smoke, and then Prozin gets overrun on that B site. And then that's the calling part, where they just don't think that they've got what they have, what they need. Sorry, words are hard. For Red Canids to be comfortable enough to make that retake happen. And so Winthrop University, like, look at all the smiles on their faces. They are playing like they've already won this matchup, while Red Canids are playing so scared, tail tucked between their legs. And once again, they just need to find something. They need to find that spark to bring things back together. And it looks like maybe this timeout will be the injection that they need. We need to see that pop-off moment from FRZ, Maestro. Someone needs to find something to inject energy into the rest of the squad so that they can once again be playing with the confidence that we have seen them go with. They're not out of this yet, but if they keep on playing like they are going home, then that is unfortunately what fate awaits them.
Yeah, if this is the level of hype that Red Canids are at the moment, if they're truly deflated after that rest, after that time they had to consider everything, after that film that they just got to see Winthrop University do their work on, it's over before the next round even starts. Necessary timeout called to keep that discipline, keep that passion, keep that fire active to prevent Red Canids from going home tonight. It is them or it is Winthrop, and they gotta play like it.
Oh man, and honestly, like, I've been pretty impressed with how Winthrop University have been playing this attack so far. I mean, one of the big things that I was focusing on was the Viper Wall. You see that Viper Wall cut off a lot of space either on that A site or on the middle. That's how teams have been really playing the Viper in order to facilitate a lot of that movement, facilitate a lot of that map control to kind of scuttle the defense. But that doesn't really feel like it's part of the Winthrop University playbook currently. Like, they're just more than happy to be playing off of another and then just kind of steamroll one side and take the map control that way because they're just so confident in the kills. It's different, but it really is working out nicely for this team in what I imagine are their comfortable agents.
100%, yeah. This is Winthrop once again. Like we saw in their slight improvement in Split 3, it's playing to comfort that's really taken him far. Governor feels a lot better with the Fade util as opposed to the Sova, I think, right now as well. The Prowlers just feel so strong for him, I think, is a big thing. And Infiltrator has really been loving this Neon lately. To go off of the Raze that used to be like your signature and switch to this and commit to it this heavy, really mature thing to see from a player who's been on the same team with the same core for so long.
Bucky in hand, just around the corner. Governor not aware of that, so that's an easy kill for Prozin.
Relay Bolt punished by RGL. Nice stopper. But the full stack from Red Canids has moved over here to A site. It is just Gabshis waiting on the B site. Glyph will TP in. No risk from Gob. The double TP up to the high ground. Glyph, proactive as can be. Deals with the one stack. Now taking the high ground in reaction to the mid push from Red Canids on their retake. That is as strong as it needs to be, but the Sage Wall walls it all away, and the first vantage on the drop smoke gives a couple extra shots to Glyph as the crowd comes screaming in. How much do you have? It's got to be so much of Maestro. Relay bolt clears the front line of the crowd. Fast lane pops open some dividends. Glyph, the Guardian makes it tough. It's Ali with the Bulldog. Corkin with 2. Moves, extends with the Outlaw. And the unconventional guns continue to get it done. RGL, no time, no chance.
What's another
No
death?
shot. Moves toying. RGL, another 4-piece on the board. It matters not. Winthrop is at 10.
Man, like, it's so crazy to me that they're able to just navigate in so easily, despite the fact that their smoke pressure, well, they've only got 1. And I wonder how much of that really is just due to the fact that they're playing off their initiator utility extremely well, but moving across the site so efficiently and so cleanly. Like, you see Glyph take so much space, and with how Glyph has been playing, there's almost that, like, you know, the controllers, they drop down the smokes on the defense, allowing you time to escape there. But then in that escape, Winthrop University are ready to kind of punish them there. And I think that that is the issue right now that Red Canids have been kind of playing against and not able to really necessarily deal with. FRZ this time does have the operator in hand. He's going to try and reinforce this B site alongside Prozen. But unfortunately, Winthrop University, they just kind of hang out a little bit, know that it takes a long time for that Viper smoke to recharge. They decide to take their efforts all the way over, loop around through mid, while Glyph is taking a lot of this space. The Lurking Omen has been so pivotal in Winthrop University's plan.
Maestro punished by that insertion after he goes hunting. And Winthrop can reset. They have more than enough time to. Not only that, but Red Canids feel the need to stick FRZ closer to this situation to try to gain something back. And that spreads the resources thin again.
Scatter.
A TP onto the Vuln door on the A site. It'll be a quick crunch on the elbow. RGL stunned shot.
Cover going out.
And Winthrop blister onto the A site. Tough timing for moves. The Optif going FRZ's way. It's Glyph's turn to hold down the fight, and Gapshi's will not get anything done with that Odin. Prozine the only one left. And you need to save this rifle at this stage in the game, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just so tough right now for Red Candid. They're not able to find those opportunities, really. And then Winthrop University, like, they're just stacking things up. Glyph has just been putting on an absolute masterclass this game. It's been so good. Finds that first kill, the overextension. And, you know, one of the things that the desk brought up was Red Canids, they need to be able to make new protocols as this game continues on, because Winthrop University are going to be adapting themselves quite adequately to try and counter a lot of the stuff that's happened. And if I'm being honest with you, Red Canids feels like they're starting to slowly run out of steam. We're not really seeing any dynamicisms, adaptations kind of coming through here to counter some of the play. It feels like every single time we see Winthrop engage, you know, it's the paranoia, it's the flash. They're all fantastic to more or less guarantee that they're able to walk away with a kill. And on top of that, they're inserted all over the map in tricky positions to find early kills early on. And quite frankly, Red Canids have not really found a solution for that. That's now 5 rounds in a row for Winthrop University, when this started out as a 6-6 half 10 rec.
Shadows traveling.
No signs of stopping here. Red Canids continue to try to gain the early space in mid. Maestro once again searching in the sands as this eco round protrudes like a sore thumb.
Ooh.
No attention given to that mid presence just yet. No smoke just going to be paid to it, so Maestro beckoned a little more forward again.
Bring them down.
Prozine's rhythm on this toxic screen has been masterful on this B site, despite WU's ability to break through it. And he is the one with the Phantom to try to spray down on those decayed players.
And look at the understanding from Winthrop University. Like, the ping's already exactly where they're expecting the players. Yeah, the Nightfall comes out. Should be an easy take.
God, it's instant. Oh, God, she's beautiful vantage from on high. Grabs one before The rest of the team trollopses onward, but it is domination and another res for Ali. Yeah, he's just gonna trade off of it and get another gap. 4v3 as the spike will go down.
Spike planted.
Not much at all you can do here, really. Paranoia only cuts this down a little bit.
Cover going
Everybody
out.
still feels so at home, so safe. You never tuck two under the hut like this.
One
Cliff could
enemy
leave
remaining.
anytime. He really could. He's just not gonna. Okay, and Ali gets another 3. So that is a game point for Winthrop University. Red Canids are 1 round out from being eliminated here in the first day of Ascension. And it would be such a rough half to end their guaranteed chances on. This will not be the last map they play no matter what. There's still more match to go, but for this whimper to be what defines how Red Canids are able to take on the rest of the competition would suck because there's so much more in them.
100%. And it's so strange seeing them this deflated. Obviously, if you kind of know their tenure in Challengers, they're showing more signs of life than this. But right now, it's just Winthrop University on absolute tear. Glyph, once again, finding another kill. Maestro down has not been the high-impact player that Red Canids needed.
Moves eventually able to find the first. StarGL playing keep away for as long as he can, and it'll get him to FRZ also to grab that op shot from beyond and will reset his own way. 2v2 after all is said and done, and Moves has not made too much space on mid.
Wow.
FRZ using the dimensional drift to clear out A main. Unconventional to say the least, but it does make sure that Red Canids can maybe get to be a little bit faster, even though nobody's even moving.
Yeah, and like, look at the spread out here. That's confidence if I've ever seen one. Moves knows. Just has to be able to find one, might be able to catch a timing, be able to rotate things out, get ahead of it, and yeah, catches one off guard. FRZ now last person alive and moves. Unbelievable.
That's just what Winthrop does. And it is a dominant attack half, an undefeated one. Red Canids, much like in this map, in this match, they can no longer stop Winthrop. All they can do is slow them down. Brazilian blood will be drawn on Brazilian soil in the first day of Sao Paulo, as Red Canids can only give Winthrop that second seed going into the Swiss.
And once again, just like unbelievable stuff coming through from Winthrop University. Like, they looked